Hello, and today I will be talking about the book I just read, Lord Lost in the Demon Out series. It's the first book in its series, and overall it's pretty good. It's about a boy named Grubbs Grady, and to be honest, actually is rather boring in the beginning a bit. But then things start to pick up a bit when he realizes that his family starts acting a bit weird, and then is presumably sent to his aunt's house while the rest of his family goes out to see some opera or something. Grubbs eventually leaves his aunt's house to figure out what's going on, but when he gets home, he sees that everything's a bit strange, so he decides to walk upstairs to see if anyone's home. He then sees that his family is dead, and he's like, "Oh my god, my parents are dead!" And then two demons pop out of nowhere, and then they start chasing him down the stairs, and then he runs to the kitchen and escapes through the dog flap at the kitchen door. When Grubbs escapes, he then calls the cops and explains to them that he found his family dead and killed by demons. However, the police don't believe him. They eventually think he's insane and throw him into the loony bin. After spending many months in the institution, Grubbs finally gets a visit from his Uncle Dervish, which he has not seen for many years. Dervish explains that he knows about the demons, and he knows what happens to Grubbs' parents. He then tells Grubbs to work for the doctors, in which he does so, to get free from the institution. He then goes along with Dervish to his house, in which Dervish can then help Grubbs overcome his fear. Dervish's house is located in a town called Carceryvale. While there, Grubbs meets two new people, both of which are friends of Dervish. He meets Billy, a boy his age, and then he also meets Mira Flame, who is presumably Dervish's girlfriend. Dervish also explains to Grubbs that magic is real, and that Grubbs had used magic to escape the demons from before. Dervish also explains that he can also use magic. He also offers Grubbs to teach him magic if he ever has to confront the demons again, in which he will. Then the story gets into a bunch of stuff I really don't want to explain or even animate because I'm too lazy. But I'll skip to the next important parts of the book. Billy shows a book about lycanthropy or werewolves in Dervish's study to Grubbs. He then explains that he's been stalking Dervish for a bit and seeing that Dervish has been acting a bit strange. Thus they both come to the conclusion that Dervish is a werewolf, and decide that they should try and stop him before he's about to turn. On the night of the next full moon, both Billy and Grubbs go out into the forest around Dervish's house. They then find Dervish going around the forest and decide to trail him. When Dervish finally sees both Grubbs and Billy, he pushes Grubbs away and tells them to stay down. Billy was feeling pretty sick that night, and to Grubbs' horror, it turns out Billy was the werewolf. Dervish managed to knock him out after a good fight, and they load him up into a truck and take him to Dervish's house. They then take him down to the cellar to deal with the new boy. Billy is taken to the basement of Dervish's house and is locked in a cage made for such an occasion. Dervish then begins the ritual to call Lord Lost, a demon master. Lord Lost is able to cure anyone of lycanthropy if he is beaten in the best 3 out of 5 games of chess. Dervish is the one who decides he will play him, while Grubbs would have to face his demon minions, or whatever. Grubbs manages to put up a good fight since he can use magic, but he nearly gets himself killed until Dervish comes to his aid. Lord Lost declares that they must die for their interference, but allows them to continue when they offer to switch places. Grubbs now faces Lord Lost in the chess tables. Grubbs manages to narrowly beat Lord Lost after insulting the game of chess and angering Lord Lost, but then Dervish must now go to the demon out of the universe and face him on his home turf. Dervish, Lord Lost, and his minions then leave, and Billy is cured of his lycanthropy. The story then ends with Dervish finally turning home after months of Grubbs being alone.